What's up? Today we're going to be working on the Honda Civic 2000 manual VTEC version, the D16Y8. Today we're going to be working on the clutch hose. So to the clutch reservoir, the master cylinder, all the way to here. So we're going to change this hose right here. So the one going down, as you can see, it's leaking. So that's why I need to change it. So every time when I press on the clutch, it drips from there. So one time I got stuck in the street just because of that. So let me show you the things you need and the part you need. So before I even start, I want to say I did take off my intake because it is an aftermarket one, but the stock one is a little different. But this is the things you're gonna need for emergencies. Let's say if it happens on the road and you need to swap that out, all you need is your 10mm, your screwdriver, and your pliers. Hopefully you do have your pliers, but most important, you're gonna need this one, and you are gonna need a ratchet. Here, I'll show you that. Here we go. Our ratchet with a 10mm. That's all you need, pretty much for a Honda. And your .3 for the brake fluid, not the brake fluid, for the clutch. So let's get started with your first tool. So the things you want to take off is these little clips right here. So the way it's facing with the solid piece, that's gonna come out up. So the same thing with the one up here. So you're gonna pull it out. So you're gonna pull it up. I'll show you now. It's gonna be a little hard trying to do it with two hands. Actually, before you do take them out, first check out this thing, right? This piece. It's the solid brake line, the clutch line. So this one's gonna be a 10mm. That one. So that's why we need that wrench, 10mm wrench. Because if you take out the holes first, you're gonna struggle with it. But putting it back, that's gonna be the hard part. So we got it loose. There we go. So it breaks off. Sorry. So now we broke it loose. Leave it alone. Then we get to the part. Actually, let me break the one down. All right, back on track. So same one with this one. But the loose, so loose. All the clutch will nail. Do that. There goes loose now. Get back to the nail. It's leaking. Oh, that's where we need the towels for. Almost forgot about it. So we're gonna put our towels right here. We don't want to stain all the rocks in the ground. Same thing with this one. Just like that. So now I'm gonna show you how to take out those clips. Starting with the top one. So you want to get your flathead in there and just twist it until it looks like it pops up like this. Just gotta keep on messing with it until it comes up. Trying to get a little bit more up. Okay, there we go. So as soon as you get it up like that, you could go from the back over here. So it goes in, you can twist it off. Make sure it doesn't go flying and lose it. Don't want to pop it out. Okay, and that's where you can use your pliers, but in case we have it off now. All right, the next one. So the next one's gonna be a little tricky. I know I'm missing a bolt right there. But it's gonna be a little tricky on this one because you have like a little bit of room. Same thing though, pop it off. It's a little looser because it's all soaked up. Hopefully. There we go. So as long as I could get it from the back right here. Go. Pop it off like that. Don't lose it. All right, there we go. Put it right there. So this is what I mean that, okay, that's where you need your 10mm right there, just to take off this clamp. I don't think you really need the 10mm for this, but we're gonna loosen it up, and there, from there we're gonna loosen this piece on the line, and take off the hose on both. So let's take it off. Now that we have the hose off, you can see it leaking. This one not really. That's why I wanted to take the top one off first. So let me show you the old hose. So that's how it looks. Take it over here. If you want the part number, that's it right there. The brake hose, the same thing. Same exact thing. Just a little bit longer, but at least you have a little play. So let me show you like this part. So see how it has like that dip? So as soon as you put it in, don't leave it like that. See? Same with the new one. Gotta check both sides. Cool. Looks good. Yeah. Part number. It's a brake hose, but I mean, clutches use the same one. So we're gonna put it the same way how it came out. It doesn't really matter which way we put it. So I have to do. Oh, as you can see, like it has that little flat. So it's a flat piece. It goes like that. Actually, you're gonna need two hands for this, but I'll put it on right now. So if you put it on the top first, it starts leaking out of nowhere. There you go, you can see it. So that's why I put your rags, because it kind of dirtied my engine bay a little bit. So I already got this one on. I just need to tighten it. Well, actually put the clip and then tighten it. I recommend cleaning this part just a little bit for debris won't like block the flowing of it, so then it will start leaking. I didn't check this one, but I'm gonna clean this one out. Then get to the screwing on. So I need my pops to help me out, but try to get this sit flushed like that, and then that's where you get your clip and put it on this way, so it's gonna look like that. Then you're gonna have to hit it down. Don't hit my finger. There we go. And from there, you can start tightening from the thread with the 10 millimeter. But for the bottom one, in my case, it's gonna be a little bit harder because I am missing a 10 millimeter right there. So if I wanted to, I could just try to put it in like that. So sit it flush just like the top one. In this case, it'll be, okay, there we go. So same way like this. They're gonna force it in because I don't have room to hit something. I'll hit it like that. Screwdriver, here we go. See? I hit it. Actually, it's all down there. But it's still loose from this part because I'm missing that 10 millimeter. Yeah, so sorry for the misinformation about taking this piece off on the bottom. I am just missing a screw, but make sure you have both of them on, for that way you can tighten the brake line, well, clutch line. So, because if, let's say if you didn't have this bracket, then try to tighten this thing up, it's just gonna keep on turning the hose. Let me see if I can find another 10 millimeter. Okay, I did find one that fits exactly on there. I just gotta tighten it up. I'll look this tight. I don't wanna break it. So I guess right there is good. Then the other one, tighten that thing. There should be good. Now we get to tightening the clutch line. Okay, we're back with our 10 wrench. So now we're gonna be tightening. So it's this way, so going up. So I don't want to tighten it too much, because if you mess up that thread, that means you got to buy the whole solid line, all the way bend it, and don't want to do that. So I'm gonna just do it until I feel comfortable, like, you know, just one finger. I think that should be good. I don't want to mess up that. Now to the next one. Same thing, upwards. So I feel comfortable. Don't restrict that either. I'm assuming that's good right there. I don't wanna mess it up. Now some more of our brake clutch fluid actually left. It actually dripped a lot. So now we're gonna be refilling it. I'm gonna show you how I do it. There's a really way to do it, but make sure you got your juice right here. But I'm back. So we have our juice, and as I mentioned, but we do need our 8 millimeter for the slave cylinder. So in that case, we are gonna need to open this up. We can use two people, one pushing the clutch and then telling them to hold it, and then closing it as soon as you get all that air out from the system. But it's gonna be by myself. Let's say if it is an emergency, happen on the street, I'm gonna show you the way to do it. So it's gonna be a little hard one. I don't remember exactly how to do it, but I'll try. We're back here, so make sure you put your rags. We're gonna open this piece up, so it's gonna go down just like that. Sorry for the bad focus. So we're gonna open it up, loosen it, and then finally we have our brake fluid. Gonna fill it up all the way to the top. So remember, we're not using a water bottle or the hose. We're trying to do this in the middle of the street, trying to get back home. So now it's open, the piece is open, we have it full. So now we're gonna start kicking the clutch. It's gonna feel weird because it's gonna go all the way to the back. There's a little dirty there. So we're gonna keep pumping it until we feel, we're gonna pull it too because like it stays back there. So we're gonna keep pumping until we feel that it gets a little rough. Feeling it a little rough, like it's kind of fighting back, but it does stay back still. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna let it go back to the reservoir. So it looks like it took all the clutch. So now we're looking up front, all the clutch fluid is there, it's all wet. So now we know that the brake fluid is not, well, it is flowing. So now we know it's flowing. So make sure you get your big bottle because you are going to use a lot. Sorry for the mess. So now that we know it's flowing every time we kick the clutch, yeah, all right. So now we're gonna keep on pumping it till we get most of the air out. So now that we go back, I'm gonna leave it down, because if we put it back up, it sucks up air from the slave cylinder. So leave it down. Recheck here. So it did went down a little bit, if I'm mistaken. Focus. Here we go. So we're gonna check the front, see if it threw some. Can't really tell if it did throw some. So go back. So you're gonna keep going back and forth to make sure. So I'm gonna give it like 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave it there. So it is taking it. You can see it went down. So now that we know it's flowing down there, now we're gonna close it. I'm back from a little lunch break. The dog called me over, but I left it open. So all the clutch fluid just escaped out. That's soaked. So let's get back to the process. Hopefully I don't run out of this. So yeah, let's see. So right now I'm gonna try to wave this open, and then I'm gonna add fluid on here. Then we're gonna pump it out through the slave cylinder. So all the way to the top. You don't want this part to get too low, or then it's gonna start sucking up air through there when you push the clutch. So now we're gonna start to pumping. Then the slave cylinder is gonna actually start pumping the fluid out, bleeding all the air. So we're gonna keep doing this until we feel like it's okay. But remember, we don't want all the fluid to go out of the reservoir. So we come back to it and it's pumping some of it out. All right, so I'm gonna go back, pump some more. Shit, okay, I feel a little resistance now. Leave it up for now. Okay, yeah, actually I did it too much. So now you can see where the fluid is going. See it dripping? So now we know it's coming through there. So back here, get a little, just add more. Like there. So we're gonna have to keep pumping it, but not too much where we drain the whole thing. So back to pumping. Okay, right there, I feel resistant. So I'm gonna leave it. Go back to the reservoir. Yeah, look, it's not all the way down where it takes air in, but we're at that part where we have more. I'm gonna pump like 4. I'm gonna just pump 4 times. because now we know there's fluid in there. Okay, yeah, still resistance. It's 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna get one more. 5. Leave it up. Yep, it did drain most of it, half of it. So now we come over here. We're gonna close it. Yeah, so it's going up. So up. So we see it leaking a bit, so that's good. So we know fluid is coming out and not air going in. So now that we closed it, so make sure it's closed. I want to make sure all these parts are tightened up. So we did dry that part. So because if that piece is closed and then, or if these are loose, then I'm gonna feel like it's coming out through here. So let me just make sure. So okay, that's good. Okay, that's loose. Okay, right there's good. Now we go back in the car and we should feel resistance. It should come back to us. If it doesn't, we did something wrong. Okay, yeah, that's, see? There you go. There you go. That's how you do it if you're by yourself in the middle of the street. Emergency. Actually, move the seat. So, feet. Okay, there you go. And it should work. I don't want to move the car like this, but take it just to show you guys. This is not a that I could show you. So if you need to get home, here we go. Actually, I don't even have the intake on, but let me show you anyways. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't want to go in. So pump it. There, it's first gear now. So if I try to, okay. Yeah, it feels a little late. It doesn't have like much like it wants to fight. I'm scared to kind of put it in reverse. Yeah, it doesn't want to go in reverse. So I pump it a little bit. Okay, it goes on second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, there we go. That's reverse. So we're gonna move right now. You're gonna see my feet. Go. Clutch up. Moves a bit. Same thing. So there you go. That's only for emergencies. So if we're actually driving, my Bible, and then so let's say first gear. See, you can see my clutch feet moving. So it works for temporary use. Until you get home, use your water bottle, your hose. It's 2 people, and you should be good. So that's it. I gotta put my intake back on. So any questions how I did it, you know, if it's not working correctly, keep doing it. Keep pumping that fluid out. Oh, and make sure these are seal tight. I had to tighten it a little bit up. See how it's leaking? So I tightened it a little bit more up. But it worked how I did it. So that's only for emergencies. I wouldn't recommend it like for full use, like let's say you're daily driving this car. Do not do what I'm doing. But that's only for emergency. Then again, for emergency. So hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully it was helpful changing this part at least. And the emergency ending part. Feel free to leave a like and but now we're gonna close this up. All right, and that is it. Just this final clip. If it is a super emergency, I did have to put water one time because I didn't have no brake fluid. So I did have a water bottle with me, and I filled this whole line. Probably like 10 miles took me home. In traffic, remember there's traffic, so I'm pushing that clutch up and down, and it worked. I got home, changed the fluid, make sure I drained the whole line out, get all that water out. Finally, it worked. Took me home. Yeah. So it works with water too. Don't get home, change the water, put your brake fluid, make sure you drain everything out, because remember, This absorbs water, so there's a little bit of bits of water up in that system, but full on water, that won't work. Only temporary. All right.